For sweet little baby Jesus' sake, the following stuff is not real, but it's floating around the internet as if it is. So if you see this that I'm getting ready to show you, welcome back to Brookman Finance. My name is Adam, and in this video we are going to be talking about HCMC and everything they've got going on right now. They've had several updates come out this week, so we're going to talk about that lawsuit, and the next thing on the agenda for that, we're going to talk about some fake news that's floating around the internet that we need to just go ahead and get rid of. So make sure you stick around to the very end. Now let's go ahead and get into HCMC and get that first thing out of the way. May 3rd, HCMC Day. I did a video explaining what I foresaw happening, and well, I'll be damned, it actually happened. We saw an initial very slight run up in that share price, and you can see the spike right here, and then it came tumbling back down pretty damn quick. At first I was like, shut the front door. They're gonna do this. It's gonna happen. And immediately I was like, oh, well, there that went. I mean, at one point, HCMC was one of the top trending tickers out there. I can only assume people saw that quick bump up and immediately started scalping profits. I can only assume that for a lot of people, that bump up was all they needed to get their money back out and get out of HCMC. Like I said before, I can't blame anyone for taking profits in such a volatile market. If you're making money, my friend, then good for you. I'm not going to tell you how diamond or soft your hands are. Do you? And if you made any money in HCMC, then make sure you check out the merchandise in that store below, and also check out the links in that description where you could probably save and make some money. There's some good stuff in there. And while you're at it, make sure you subscribe so you can continue to hear my dad jokes, because I got the best dad jokes in the finance game on YouTube, bar none. So if the May 3rd thing that I was talking about doesn't make sense, on May 3rd there was a lot of chatter on Reddit, on different forums. There was like a coordinated effort to put $100 minimum into HCMC that day, try to squeeze those shorts and drive that share price up. One thing that a lot of people was worried about was the SEC stepping in if they felt that share price was being manipulated in a coordinated effort. That's illegal. But you're probably thinking, what could they do? There are thousands and thousands of us. Like Bubba Sparx said, I ain't worried about the law. They can't arrest us all. Which is true. The SEC, in fact, doesn't arrest anyone. They gather information and dump it off to the FBI. Why? Because the SEC is an administrative regulatory agency, not a criminal investigative agency. They hand out fines, not handcuffs. In theory, could they look up people on Reddit that was discussing buying shares at a specified time? Yes. Could it be corroborated with trades that these individuals made? Yes. Is there a likelihood that that would ever happen? Probably not, unless it got way too out of hand. And only then it would probably just be a handful of people, with the other 99.999% of folks just being noted and left alone. However, the last thing you want is the SEC being all up in your beehole and freezing trading on HCMC, which would probably result in a sell-off whenever they opened it back up, in which a panic sale would probably ensue, and it's just not a good thing. In an article about the SEC monitoring penny stocks just like HCMC, this is what they had to say. We proactively monitor for suspicious trading activity tied to stock promotions on social media, and act quickly to stop that trading when appropriate to safeguard the public interest. We also remind investors to exercise caution and do their diligence before investing generally, including in companies promoted on social media, said Melissa Hodgman, acting director of the SEC's Division of Enforcement. While I get they're trying to protect investors' best interest, a part of me at the same time goes, you know what? If I want to just burn all of my money in a big pile and dump it into whatever crap stock I want to, why can't I do that? That should be my right. I should be free to put my money where I want to, when I want to. Don't get me on that tangent though. Let's move on. Like a lot of you, I was expecting to see some earnings on May 5th which was yesterday, and I looked everywhere. Hopefully they'll be out today, but the only thing I could find was some information that came out regarding dates surrounding that rights offering. If you don't know what the rights offering is, I've made videos on this in the past, because the rest of these dates probably aren't going to make sense. So make sure you go back and check out those videos, and it will clear up a lot of confusion and why I'm not the biggest fan of it. But as always, opinions are like bee holes. We all got one. That's 2 butt jokes in the same video. Maturity. However, if you're super long on HCMC, then you may be seeing this and eyeballing this as a buying opportunity. So let's talk dates. The expected calendar for the rights offering is as follows. Friday, May 14th is the ownership day. In order to be considered a stockholder of record on May 18th, shares should be acquired by May 14th. As long as you own shares prior to May 14th, you're good, but it's going to get recorded on May 18th who owns those shares and how many. Wednesday, May 19th, that's when the subscription period begins, and you can get those shares on that with that discount. On Thursday, June 3rd, not lasting real long, that subscription period ends at 5 p.m. Eastern Time, unless extended at HCMC's sole discretion. If they don't sell enough shares, there is a good chance they could extend it, especially for the folks that want more shares than they are allotted to buy. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then again, go check out my other videos. Quick recap, you need to own shares before May 14th because they're getting recorded on May 18th. The next day, the subscription starts the 19th and it's ending June 3rd. So you have between that 19th and June 3rd to get those shares at a discount. There is a lot of misinformation getting spread out there, and not only just about the rights offering, but just HCMC in general. For sweet little baby Jesus' sake, the following stuff is not real, but it's floating around the internet as if it is. So if you see this that I'm getting ready to show you, please ignore it and let everyone know it's complete bull. There is no acquisition happening in Delaware. There is no reverse merger taking place in Chicago. No one is getting bought out. FYI, if you see anything with Ask Warren Buffett on it from Twitter, it's a parody account. It literally says so right here. It's all BS. Please do not share this, because people are sharing this, getting excited that some of this stuff is actually taking place. For God's sakes, it is fake. Now for the latest lawsuit update, and probably why the majority of you are even here. On May 12th, we have something called the infringement contentions. But remember, I'm no attorney or financial advisor. I'm just explaining this how I understand it. And if I'm incorrect on something, I apologize. Make sure you explain it to me in the comment section below so I understand it moving forward. I'm always trying to learn, just like a lot of you. So if I'm wrong on something, I can admit it. Maturity. HCMC is due to serve contentions showing infringement where HCMC will identify, and then in parentheses, these are usually exchanged between the parties and not made public or filed publicly with sensitive information redacted. But where HCMC will identify each claim of each patent in suit that is allegedly infringed by each opposing party. B, separately for each asserted claim, each accused apparatus, method, composition, or other instrumentality of each accused party of which the claiming party is aware. So from my understanding, HCMC needs to prove with evidence how the patent's getting infringed on, and not just with language or in some paperwork. They actually have to show it for each and every claim. And again, I'm no attorney, but it sounds like HCMC is getting ready to lay everything out, and it will give us an understanding how strong or weak the case is. If it's strong and it's legit, maybe we'll hear some good news sooner than later. If it's as weak as creek water, we may hear some bad news. And if it is bad news, I don't know enough about it to know if the likelihood of it getting tossed. Because if this thing gets tossed, this share price is going to drop like an anchor. If you're curious about what HCMC is and what they have going on and the rights offering, make sure you check out some of my videos I've already done. And let me know in the comments what you think is going to happen with this lawsuit. As always, I hope all your stocks stay green. I hope you stay safe, and I hope everyone out there takes care.